In this video, I'm showing you movements for the chest that will help you to mobilize your chest, to get rid of pains and to soften this region, which is for many an important topic because this region tends to tense up with people. On the one hand, people that do strength training and that do things that are heavy, people that do manual labor, but on the other hand, also people that do a lot of sitting. So I will show you a few different movements. We will do each movement for 1 minute. They can be done shorter, they can be done longer, but here we do a 7-minute follow along that you can use always when you want to do these movements for the chest. All right, let's start. The first motion is this side to side motion of the chest, so you can start doing it with me. And what is important for me is first of all that you focus on opening the sides instead of crunching. You want to make space, open here, open here, open here, and I focus on moving the chest. I don't want to move down in the lumbar, and I also don't want to overuse the head. I don't want to do that, and I also don't want to counterbalance it like this. I keep the cervical spine relatively stiff. You see, like this. My head is moved from the chest. You can have the hands up like that, like I have it. You can also have the hands down here, or it can be also nice to have them here. The next one that we are going to do is up and down motion, or you could also say forwards and backwards. So down, you see, woof, I'm rolling down, and up, it's like someone is pulling me up here. Down and up. And it's the same thing with the head. I don't want to do extra movements like this, but here it's stiff. You can do this, for example. It helps to keep it stiff, just like that. So you really focus on the chest. I also don't want to open here in the lumbar. I can keep it a little bit actually out to this direction, like I'm leaning into something with the lumbar spine. And from there, just moving up and down with the chest. Especially back opening is very difficult for people. And if you notice there's very little movement, that's normal. That's not a problem. From there, you work. The next one is a rotation. I rotate with the chest like this. And the natural thing when you rotate for many people is keep the head facing forward, because this is also what we do when we walk. But let's try to keep the thing alive that we have, that the head just moves with the chest, is moved by the chest instead of counterbalancing. And also I don't want to move in the pelvis. The pelvis stays stiff and I'm moving here with the chest. So I'm trying my best to counterbalance, and it's always good to use a mirror for this. If you don't have a mirror, then I would advise to, from time to time, film yourself and look at yourself what you're doing, because in the beginning your internal feedback, your feeling, that won't be enough. You need to get some outside feedback, like the mirror or like the camera. For the whole time I'm always very focused and present in what I'm doing. The next thing is that I'm doing a diagonal like that. I'm going forward and I'm going to the side, and I'm going backwards and I'm going to the other side. Head still in this alignment like before. Notice I don't want to rotate. That would be a rotation added. I'm not adding a rotation. That can be done later, but for now I don't want to do that. Just like this. Still keeping the head in alignment, no extra movement with the head. Very focused on the chest. This nice diagonal line here. And I try to be soft when doing it. In the beginning, you might want to stay a little bit in the end and open. Use your breath also. When you breathe out, maybe you can go a little bit further. You can play with that. But what's also very helpful is to have a little bit of speed with it. So not to go slow all the time. We switch the sides. Obviously, starting slow is crucial. But as I said, maybe through time I can get to speed like that, after I practice the slow for a few weeks, and that's also nice. In my own practice, I will change back and forth, fast and slow. I will have moments when I feel, okay, now I need slow stuff, and I have moments when I feel now the fastness can really soften me and open it up. Yeah? Because it's hard to be stiff when you're fast. Stay always present with what you're doing. It's like you really try to map this region, feeling the spine, the motions in the spine. Now we are going to do a circle, and that can be like this: sideways, front, sideways, back. Side, front, side, back. Yeah? Still everything in the chest, no extra movement added. No movement here in the pelvis besides what is needed so that you don't fall, just the minimal that you need. And also in the lumbar, I try to resist doing motion. I really focus on that region here. If you feel more tension in the beginning, that's all right. In a few weeks, it will be better. As long as you do it regularly, of course, because this benefits from doing it several times per week. You might want to do it every day. If that's a problematic region for you, we change the direction. It's very low risk, but don't overdo it in the first few weeks. In the first few weeks, I wouldn't do it more than 3 times per week. Yeah? And once you did 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you could go up in how many times you're doing. Probably you have also other things to do in your training. If it's not a super problematic region, and then anyway, it will maybe not be more than 5 times per week because you have other things to do as well. But you should do it minimally 2 times per week. Yeah? So now you have some numbers for it. I show you a little bit faster also, so you see this. Good, and that's it. There was 7 minutes of basic SROMP work. I just remind you, side to side, forward, backwards, rotation, diagonal, diagonal, and then we did a rotation of this tilting. This is called the tilting circle also, because we are tilting sideways, backwards, sideways, forward. Notice these movements are part of our SROMP program. That means soft range of motion practice, and this is a very important pillar of our physical work because it helps people to understand how to move the joints, what possibilities they have, but it also is extremely helpful if you have any sorts of pain in joints. That would be most of the time the first thing we give to people that are in pain. If you have pain with the wrist, you do SROMP wrist and so on and so forth. Yeah? So this is done by the beginners that practice with us, but also the advanced people will continue to do SROMP, even if we don't tell them, but because they realize it's so helpful. All right, continue.